Is it visible? Okay. Audible? Audible? So apoplastic and symplastic water movement. Apoplast and symplast. Apoplast and symplast. So water flows by apoplast as well as symplast. Apoplast, it is continuous except at endodermis. Apoplast is continuous except at part is endodermis. In endodermis, what type of thickenings are present in endodermis? Casparian thickenings. Casparian thickenings. Okay. And thin walled cells, what do you call it is? Passage cells. Okay. So, water, it has to cross the membrane. It has to be ultimately symplastic in endodermis. Even though water travels by apoplast, ultimately symplastic in endodermis, water directing toward the cells which are thin-walled. Thin-walled cells, what do you call? Passive cells. So, water movement ultimately symplastic in endodermis, that is crossing membrane in passage cells. Okay. And both in apoplast and symplast, water moves down the gradient. That means high concentration to low concentration. It is like okay, bulk flow, high pressure to low pressure. Got clear this? Endodermis is the last layer of the cortex. Radial and tangential walls are thickened. And thin-walled cells, what do you call it is? Passage cells, which are thin-walled. Okay. Shall I rub this? Okay. And for this explanation, so through leaf water evaporation and the tension transmitted in between intercellular spaces. Okay. So water lost as a vapor, tension created in intercellular spaces of the cells. So water moves by mass flow. Water moves by mass flow through intercellular spaces as well as walls. Water will be pulled. Okay. Water pulled. This is in apoplast. So in xylem walls, it is apoplast. Okay. Lumina of xylem vessel, it is also apoplast. And intercellular spaces, it is also apoplastic movement. So cortical cells do not offer resistance to water movement. The water movement is very fast in apoplast than simpler. That is also key point. Suppose if you frame a question, water movement fast in apoplast. Water movement fast in apoplast than simplast. Water movement fast in apoplast than simplast. Why? No crossing of membrane. That is one reason. No crossing of membrane. And cortical cells are loosely packed. Cortical cells are loosely packed, do not offer any resistance. This is also one point. No crossing of membrane. Cortical cells are loosely packed, do not offer any resistance. Major water travels through apoplast only. That is also one question. Why? In root, the bigger part it is the cortex only. Okay. It is one question for these two reasons. And other it is major water travels through apoplast. I am not saying all water travels by apoplast only. Water travels by apoplast as well as symplast, but major water, large amount of water travels through apoplast. Why? In root, bigger part is cortex only. In root, the bigger part is cortex only. As it is loosely packed, it do not offer any resistance to traveling of water movement. It is very fast. Got cleared? Maheshi Reddy, Hitaya, Modi Lucy, Palkavit Tarun Teja. Okay. Okay. It is one question. For this question, there are two reasons. For this, it is major part travels through apoplast. It is root having bigger part. It is cortex. Okay. Simplast. It is a living continuous system. That is, cytoplasm of the cells interconnected by plasmodesmata. What do you call simplast? A living system. Living continuous system, that is cytoplasm of adjacent cells interconnected by plasmodesmata. Okay. Suppose it is a cell. The two cells. It is plasma membrane. Okay. All expression here only it is this diagram. It is plasmodesmata. Okay. It is cell wall. It is plasma membrane. Okay. It is tonoplast. It is vacuole. Okay. Water crossing the membrane. Okay. So plasma membrane to cytoplasm. Cytoplasm to tonoplasm. By crossing the membrane. Tonoplast to the water crossing tonoplast. Tonoplast to cytoplasm. So it is within the cell. plasma membrane to cytoplasm, cytoplasm to tonoplasm, tonoplast to it is cytoplasm, it is intracellular. Okay. Plasmodesmata to adjacent cell. It is intercellular. So vacuolar pathway, membrane pathway. What it is? Tonoplasm, it is cytoplasm, and it is the pathway, it is symplastic pathway. Intracellular, intercellular. Intracellular, it is plasma membrane to cytoplasm, cytoplasm to tonoplasm, tonoplast to cytoplasm. Through plasmodesmata to other cell, it is intercellular. All it is symplastic movement. So, living continuous system, that is cytoplasm of adjacent cells interconnected by plasmodesmata, it is symplast. Symplastic movement is slow because it has to cross the membrane. And symplastic movement also it is down the gradient. Got clear? Intracellular, intercellular. Intra, inter. Okay, rest of the members. Okay, it is. So it has to cross for membrane. It is symplastic. Symplastic movement. It is slow. Okay. Right. Why it is slow? Has to cross membranes. Has to cross membranes. And symplastic movement down the gradient. That is high concentration to low concentration. So undoubtedly it is passive. But cytoplasmic streaming and movement of chloroplast in cell, hydrilla leaf in this cytoplasmic streaming in the leaf cells of hydrilla and movement of the chloroplast, it is symplastic. Active. that is expense of ATP. Cytoplasmic streaming in leaf cells of hydrilla, movement of the chloroplast, symplastic, aided by utilization of energy, that is ATP. It is active, otherwise it is passive. That is bulk flow, that is mass flow. Okay. Okay. So intracellular, intercellular through plasmodesmata within the cell, crossing the membrane to cytoplasm, cytoplasm to tonoplasm, tonoplasm to cytoplasm. It is intracellular symplastic movement. Intercellular symplastic, it is plasmodesmata. Okay, got clear? And the xylem vessels, which are non-living conduits, that is for conduction. Non-living conduits, that is for conduction. In young plants, this is a very key point. In young plants, water directly to trachea gymnosperms. Trachea and vessel. In NCERT book, you closely observe the point. The water directly enters trachea or trachea vessel. Only trachea gymnosperm or trachea and vessel in angiosperm. Because tracheates are the conducting elements in gymnosperm. Trachea and vessel conducting elements in angiosperm. Only tracheates, gymnosperms and pteridophyte. Trachea and vessels in angiosperms. Okay. In young plants are the parts water directly enter trachea or trachea and vessel. Other structures, that is mycorrhizae. Association of the mycelium, fungal mycelium with the roots of the higher plant, what they call it is mycorrhizae. Association of fungal mycelium with roots of plant, symbiotically, what they call mycorrhizae. Roots called mycorrhizal roots. In first year we come across in plant kingdom, In pinus, what type of the roots are present? Mycorrhizal roots are present. So associationality is symbiosis. That is, both partners are going to be benefited. Mycorrhizae, rhizae, it is root. Myco, it is mycelium. Mycelium associate with the fungal, that is fungi, mycelium with the roots of higher plant. What do you call? Mycorrhizae. Okay, got clear it is. In mycorrhizae, if you take fungi and plant roots, the fungi provides water, minerals. It provides food and nitrogen requirements. We're getting this key point. It provides water and minerals to plant. Plant in turn provide food and nitrogen requirements because the fungi require nitrogen for cell wall, the chitin, nitrogen based polysaccharidic cell wall material in fungi it is chitin. Nitrogen it is required because fungi having nitrogen based polysaccharidic cell wall material, that is chitin. So how plant is contributing for cell wall formation means it is providing nitrogen requirements to fungi. Okay. Example, Boletus fungi. Fungi in roots of pinus. It is ecto and endo. Ecto on surface of root. Endo intra and intercellular penetration. All key points. So mycelium present over the surface of the root and penetrates intercellular as well as intracellular. So pinus mycorrhizal roots. In mycorrhizae, it is providing to the plant, it is water and mineral. The plant in turn providing nitrogenous requirement and food. Association it is symbiosis. Okay. Chanuri Devasenama, sir, it is downtain or potential. I am not getting it. You properly message the doubt. Intra and intercellular. Penetrates. Suppose, and it is the mycelium. It is intracellular, intercellular. If it is through, it is intracellular. So intercellular as well as intracellular penetration. Okay. So far you discussed water movement, water from soil to root hair, cortex, passage cell of endodermis, pericycle, protoxylem, metaxylem. This movement it is lateral or radial conduction of water. Lateral or radial conduction of water. Okay. Based on water potential gradient. Suppose if you take soil, root hair, and cortex. Soil water potential high. Water potentiality is low. Soil to root hair. In this, water potentiality is very low from root hair to cortical cell. In this, water potentiality is low. Water enter into this like this. So water enters from higher water potential to lower water potential. So high, it is low. Based on water potential gradient, what we call lateral conduction of water or radial conduction of water. Sequence water from soil, root hair, cortex, then passage cell of endodermis, pericycle, protoxylem, then metaxylem. In symplastic also it is water potential gradient. That is short distance transport, it is aided by, also it is symplastic hydrilla and chloroplastic. Okay, based on water potential gradient from one cell to other cell based on water potential gradient only. From this cell to this cell through plasmodesmata higher water potential to lower water potential. Okay, got cleared? Shanuri, Devasenama, in symplastic system, what is the gradient? I got this point. One cell to other cell through plasmodesmata, higher water potential, lower water potential. So water potential gradient only, symplastic. Okay, got it. Chennuri Devasenamma. In simplistic system, what is the gradient, sir? Okay, it's over. Water potential gradient. Okay. Okay. So far, you discussed water movement horizontally. That is radial conduction of water. Water moves up in plant. How water moves up in plant. Water moves up in plants. Whether active or passive. It is not active, it is passive only. Whether it is pulled or pushed. It is pulled only, not it is pushed. Most of the water pulled, but not it is pushed. Okay, act. So water, how water moves up in the plant. In this, going to discuss root pressure, transpirational pull, cohesion and tension. The two concepts, root pressure, transpiration, pull, cohesion and adhesion. Whether water movement up in the plant is active or passive, it is passive. Whether pulled or pushed, most of the plant requirement met by only pulling but not a pushing. Root pressure. Root pressure. Before knowing this root pressure, term coined by Stephen Hales. The term root pressure coined by Stephen Hales. Apparatus measure root pressure is manometer. Okay. Suppose it is a root. It is soil. Okay. It is having minerals present in the form of ions. In soils, minerals present as ions, positively charged cations, negatively charged anions. So, concentration it is, mineral concentration it is low when compared to cell sap of root. Minerals or ions high, low, high. Water content high. In cell sap of root, water content low. Water potential in soil high. Water potential in the root it is low. So gradient of water potential established from soil to the root. Delta psi W from soil to root. That is high water potential, low water potential. I hope you understood. Water always moves from higher water potential to lower water potential. So water potential gradient established from soil to root. In soil, concentration of ions is low when compared to cell sap of root. This is the first point. Okay. Water content is high in soil. Water content is low in root. Water potential is water content is high. Water potential is high in soil. Water potential is low in root. So gradient of water potential established from soil to root. Okay. So minerals concentration it is low. Mineral concentration it is high. So minerals enter into the root by active. Minerals from soil enter into the root by active method. Why active method? Because minerals are present as charged particles in soil with a low concentration when compared to cell sap of cell. That's why entry of the minerals into the root it is high concentration. That is low to high. So low to high it is active. I hope you got the point. Got the points? Okay, it is. Okay. So, as water, how minerals enter into the root, its concentration increases, water potential decreases in the root. As water potential gets established from soil to the root, so more water enters into this. So root cells are saturated with water. What pressure is created? Hydrostatic pressure is created. Okay. So positive hydrostatic pressure developed. Positive hydrostatic pressure developed in trachary elements of roots called root pressure. What they call root pressure. And root pressure responsible for moderate or modest push in overall long distance transport. It provides modest push in overall long distance transport. Suppose the statement right, root pressure has no role in long distance transport. That is going to be wrong. It provides modest push in overall long distance transport. But plant do not going to meet its requirement only by root pressure, by some other means. Whether it is pulled or pushed, we'll later see. Okay, I got these 2 points. It provide moderate or modest push in overall long distance transport. That is right. Root pressure has no role in long distance transport. That is going to be the wrong. Root pressure responsible for more. It is the push in small plants. In small plants it is okay, but not in case of tall plants. So root pressure is applicable to some small plants like herbs, but not the tallest plants. So root pressure is a positive pressure. Trachea elements of the root filled with water. So positive pressure. That is responsible for push. It is pull. Pull is negative. Push is positive. Pull it is negative. Push it is positive. So bulk flow it may be push or pull. Bulk flow it may be push or pull. So root pressure it causes pushing of water, not it is pulling of water. Pulling it is a negative pressure. Pushing it is a positive pressure. Okay. I hope you got it. Okay. Monisha, Shesha Sai, Sirisha, Raj Vijay, Imran Faraz, Shinu, Mosani Gangadhar, Chot Balaya. Okay, it is. Okay, the session over. Priya, Shushmita, okay. Okay.